Okay, part B then asked you to work out the volume of revolution. So the formula we had for volume was that the volume is equal to pi times the integral of y squared dx. And because this is a parametric, that would be the same as doing the integral of y squared dx by dt dt. So we already know what dx by dt is, and we know what y is, so that would be the same as doing pi times y is 1 over 1 plus t all squared times dx by dt is 1 plus 2t dt. And remember, the limits have to be in terms of t again. We worked those out in part A, so they'll be 0 and 1. Now if we multiply this out, or look at what this gives us, this comes out as being pi times the integral of 0 to 1 of 1 plus 2t over 1 plus t all squared. We can't integrate this as it stands. What we do spot is that we need to use partial fractions to split this up. So we're going to need to use partial fractions on that fraction to split this up into two fractions we can work with. So if we just look at that bit in partial fractions, the 1 plus 2t over 1 plus t all squared, we can write as a over 1 plus t plus b over 1 plus t squared. And if we look at just the top line of that, we're going to get 1 plus 2t equals a times 1 plus t plus b. And if we let t equals minus 1, we'd end up with the left hand side would be minus 1. The a term would become 0 equals b. And then for the other term, if we just think about multiplying this out, we'd end up with 1 plus 2t equals a plus at plus b. And we can either look at saying that the numbers must be the same or the number of t's must be the same. I'm going to compare the t coefficient. So if I can just compare the t here, so the t on this side is 2t, and t on that side is at, so if they're equal, then it's pretty obvious. We can say if that's the case, then a has to be 2. So I can now say that if that's the case, I'm going to be integrating. The integral of this will become pi times the integral from 0 to 1, and that fraction will come out as 2 over 1 plus t minus 1 over 1 plus t squared dt. And if I integrate that, that's going to become pi. This one's just going to become 2 log 1 plus t. But the second side, or the other side of this, is going to be, so remember that that's the same as 1 plus t to the power of minus 2. So if we're integrating, we add 1 to the power, divide by the new powers, that becomes t to the power of minus 1. We divide by the new power, we're going to get plus 1 plus t to the power of minus 1 between 0 and 1. And if I put in my coefficients, that's going to be the same as 2 log, if t is 1, that becomes log 2, plus, that becomes 2 to the power of minus 1, so that's 1 over 2 to the power of 1, that's a half, minus 2 log 1, plus 1, if I put in 0. Remember, log 1 is just 0, so then I'm going to have pi times 2 log 2, I've got a half here, minus 0 plus 1, so a half minus 1, that'll be minus a half.